Never have I ever woke up somewhere I wasn't supposed to be. Never have I ever threw a table at my teacher.
I have not, but I wanted to.
No, I don't think I did. Dang.
Never have I ever got so drunk and puked in the bathroom of a restaurant.
Of a restaurant?
Or anywhere.
Anywhere? I have not.
I think I was with you, boo. At I think we were
everywhere.
we were actually at a restaurant. What's Applebee's? We were at Applebee's and we were getting ready to go see the Chippendales with Rochelle. Yeah, I have.
Oh man, that was a fun day.
And I think we're like, okay, now we're ready to go back and drink some more. That was like 5 years ago, so.
Never have I ever snuck in someone's house and hid in the closet to hide from others.
I have. So, I hid in Boo Boo's closet because my mom and dad came looking for me at the Darwater house. And I can hear Boo Boo's mom, tell me you can get out the closet. So I had to. I think I was hiding more from Boo Boo's mom than my own parents. So yes, I have.
Never have I ever snuck into a club.
You know that time we went to shots with Auntie Kiva them? Were we 21?
You switch that.
We have together. We were in Long Beach?
Yeah, we're in Long Beach.
We were in Long Beach with his aunties and they snuck us in a club. So yeah.
Since we're talking about clubs, never have I ever gotten into a bar fight.
Damn.
Did we?
Oh girl.
This was back in 2012.
It was when I wasn't here.
When did you leave?
2014.
14? Was it 14? Yes, it was 2014.
Because if I was here, hope I
yeah.
still leave.
Yeah, it was 2014. And
It was I think you were in PBT actually.
Yeah,
the first year. Because I had just given birth to Jordan. Remember? Because we just got the white expedition.
Yeah.
So it was like 2011, 2012.
Yeah,
yeah, we were at Whalers.
I think Epic was there with a lot of them.
Yeah. It's me against 4. But this one had a whole more arm.
Yeah, one of them had, we were getting ready to leave. And as we were pulling out, we heard one of them call one of my girl cousins, you know, the B word. And he's not too fond of that word. So there were like 4 or 5 of them. And the guy that we went to the party for, he was one of those guys. So I was tripping out that he was trying to fight my husband. But he put the car in park. We were about to leave the Whaler parking lot. He put the car in park. Both of our doors were open. We were over there, and one of the guys ran out and seen Jimmy, and I told him to go and grab our car because it was out in the middle of the street. And there was like 4 or 5 of them, and I think I had to like hold Jimmy back, but there was like 4 of them who could have easily jumped us or whatever. If they really wanted to fight, they would have done that. But I'm glad that nothing went down because.
Never have I ever worn sandals with socks.
Like what kind of sandals? Like,
well, sandals are just the one like that, but I'm
always
talking about slippers.
I always wear socks with my sandals.
Speaking of, my friend has it right now.
Right there.
Never have I ever gotten into a fight intended for someone else.
I have.
What about you?
So So when I was a freshman in high school, this is when MSN Messenger was everybody's go-to to communicate. And I guess my auntie and this girl had argued over MSN Messenger. And she had said something about me. And then she told my auntie that she was coming to my school to fight me or whatever. And yeah, so it was actually for my auntie, but she ended up coming to the school and fighting me. And her brother ended up punching me in the head. Shout out to Boo Boo. Boo Boo was there with me. She was, there was like 2 guys there. And I think the girl was out. Yeah, she was out of school. And yeah, it was lame. I didn't get beat up when I got home, so you know what that means.
Never have I ever fought my uncle.
No.
Never have I ever snuck out and made a body with my pillows and covered it with a blanket to make it look like I was still sleeping.
Right here, I have. And it was only to go pick up my sisters at 4 o'clock in the morning, so my dad wouldn't know we were gone.
Well, now he knows.
He knew from the other video that I shot with Booski.
Never have I ever got caught ditching by my parents.
Was it me? It was not me.
Ditching? What, at school? Anything?
Yep.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, well, yeah, they call this.
Or the police.
Will you sign up? What you saying?
Yeah, they call my parents. Yeah, and I lied to it too. Lied to them. Got everything thrown at me.
I was a beamer.
Never have I ever got caught smoking.
Smoking what?
Smoking in general.
Yeah.
Smoking weed, smoking cigarettes.
What is that?
I have. So we were at Mountain View Lions Park, and I was sitting in the back of one of my uncles trying to hide, and I was sitting on the floor smoking a cigarette, and then I forgot who it was. I was with one of my sisters, and then my Uncle Moy, who was a pastor, I didn't know he was like standing over looking down, and we were sitting there chilling and smoking, and then I look up and he sees me and I throw my cigarette and he's like, "Oh no, go ahead, I've been standing here since you lit it." So picked it right back up, smoked the rest of it, and he left us alone and we went back to the family gathering. So that's how I got caught.
Never have I hated a person before they became my best friend.
Well, can you ask that louder?
Never have I hated a person before they became my best friend.
Fun fact, before me and Boo Boo became best friends,
They can't hear him.
oh, can you ask one more time?
Never have I hated.
Never have I ever.
Never, ever, ever, ever.
If you guys can see his face.
Forever.
Have I ever hated a person before they became my best friend?
Well, yeah, I have. Wait, let me straighten it out. So, fun fact, me and Boo Boo didn't get along when we first met each other. And I come from a family where we were only allowed to wear blue. And so when she seen all of us, I was rocking a blue hoodie and some Dickies or something. And I seen her and she was rocking red. I forgot what had happened. When we seen each other at church, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna chill with her. She said the same thing about me. And I guess death brings people together because our cousin Big Jr., a lot of people know him out here in Alaska. He died out there in college in I think Fresno State, and during all of the ALWAyz and stuff like that, we had to sit there and talk to each other because her mom is so scary that she was like, "Well, you can't boo." Coño, Yema. So if I fail, yeah. So that's what we did. We had to put on our ears. And as we were doing ViDEOz and stuff, we just started talking to each other. And then I was like, damn, she's going through a lot of the similar things that I'm going through. And so ever since then, what, 2000? Was it 2000? 2001. Ever since 2001, me and Boo Boo have always been friends. And now, you know, we're sisters, basically. You know. So... Oh, and our parents did not like us hanging out with each other at all. But, yeah, that's my story.
Let's see what's said.
What does Sue say?
To our defense, we were best friends first. That was true.
Was it?
Mm-hmm. Me and Sue were close first.
Mm. Guess what? She's my best friend now, so.
Never have I ever had a long distance relationship.
Wow.
I have. You want to tell it?
Yeah.
So we.
Let him tell.
I was in Utah. She was here in Alaska, and we've been talking.
How'd you get my number?
Shout out to Frida for giving me your number. I didn't know Frida had sisters. Yeah. And then I ended up texting her, and then she called. Remember, you called first.
I did call, but I think I hung up on him like 6 times, and he called me back every single time. And we talked to each other for what, 6 months?
7 months.
7 months? No, 6. Oh yeah, 7 months. Yeah, so we basically got to know each other before we even seen each other, which was a plus. I learned a lot about, how he grew up and stuff. And 7 months later, we met up, and 12 years later, we're still together. So for those of you who out there who don't believe in long distance relationships, believe in it, because you're looking at the outcome of a long distance relationship.
Yes.
If you want it to happen, it'll happen.
Right. Never have I ever experienced the hardship of being a PK. What's that? PK.
So PK stands
pastor
for a
kid.
pastor's kid.
Oh.
And I have.
You have?
Technically you are, because you're married to me. So.
Are you saying this some more?
So, being a pastor's kid, it's hard. It's hard when you hear stuff being said about your parents, and it's hard hearing stuff being said about you, especially when it's coming from people that you thought would have your back, and some family members. Like, I remember one of my cousins came up to me and was like, my dad said we can't hang out with you guys because you guys are a bad influence on us. And I was like, what? Taken back by that. And she said, yeah, my dad said we couldn't hang out with you guys, or we can't chill with you guys because you guys are bad influence on us, and you guys are the pastor's kids. And being a pastor's kid, we don't choose to sign up to be a pastor's kid. It's God's calling on our parents. And not everybody will get saved at the same time. So for me, it took me a very long time, because we experience things that all normal kids go through. Just because we're pastor's kids, it doesn't make us special. It doesn't make us not go through things that normal kids do. It's just the title of being a pastor's kid. It's hard. It's a hard life to live, and you're under the scope every minute. So everybody's always looking at your life, always looking at you and what you're gonna do. So when I do hear things about my parents, especially some things that are said in the ministry that they watch over, it's hard. But like, I watched a video and it said that love your parents through that and support them through that. And just because we're the pastor's kids, it doesn't mean we're perfect. You know what I mean? Like we're just like other kids, but we're always under the microscope, and people judge us quickly before even understanding the things that we go through, understanding the things that we have to let go in one ear and out the other. So it's a very hard pill to swallow. But I'm blessed to have my dad and mom as pastors, because even though there are hardships of being a pastor's kids, there's also, you know, you get to minister to other people. Even though you're imperfect, you're basically being there for your parents. And there's a lot of times where I stand at the pulpit, and there's a lot of times that I'm singing on the team. Like, I'm not worthy of it at all. But thank God that we serve a God that's forgiving. We serve a God that's everlasting. We serve a God that will blanket us with his love and protection. So, yep, the hardships of PK is just that. It's hard.
Yeah. Everyone lives in your past.
Yeah. Everyone brings up your past.
Yeah.
But I don't live there no more, so it doesn't bother me as much as it used to. So there was a question that we had put to the side, and this is a question that hits home for me. And I chose to keep this question last to be asked because it's very personal, and it's something that not only in the Polynesian community, but it's something that's worldwide, and it's shunned to talk about in families. So, you want to ask that question?
Never have I ever been molested.
So I was asked this question by, I'm not going to say any names because, like I said, it's something that's very personal, and I'm going to tell my truth, because if I can help somebody get through it by talking about it, then I will. And to answer that question, I have. So it's always hard for me to talk about this because I never want to hurt anyone. So before I chose to do this, I went and talked to a couple of people and asked them how they would feel if I talked about this on camera, and they told me that if I could help people get through it, then I can talk about it. And every time this is brought up, I get really quiet. And it's not because I'm embarrassed, but I hate reliving that pain. And especially for this girl that put this in my DM, I'm not going to say any names. This made my life very hard. This ruined a lot of relationships for me. But it made me hate myself, kind of, because I wasn't strong enough to tell the right people, or I wasn't strong enough to reach out to the right people. And the worst thing is that when you do say something, the people that you love is the people that you hurt the most when you tell them. Forgiving is probably the best thing that you can do for yourself when something like this happens. But something that I want to encourage young girls that have gone through this is you got to tell somebody. This is not something easy to live with when you don't open up to somebody. Luckily, I had my best friend and I had my sisters, but they were the ones that I didn't want to hurt the most. I became a very bitter person because I didn't open up to anyone, or I didn't open up to the right people. I didn't say anything to authorities. I didn't say anything to when I was that age. I just thought that everybody, like, so certain people didn't believe me. And I lost a couple people that I'm so blessed to have back in my life. My advice to the girl that DM'd me, don't ever think that you're not enough. Don't ever think that it was your fault, because it's not your fault. I struggled with that all the time. Did I wear certain clothes around this person? Did I give them hints? Was I too friendly with this person? I battled with that for a long time in my head. You didn't do anything wrong. It was not you. And I hope you get the help that you need. And if you reaching out to me has started something for you, reach out to me again. We can call somebody. Don't be afraid to tell your parents. Don't be afraid to tell your siblings. This is not something that you want to live with for the rest of your life. I'm happy that I actually opened up to someone. I'm happy that I have a husband who loves me enough to sit there and listen to me every time. This is why I don't ever let my daughter go with anybody that I don't trust, or I'll always make up an excuse like, no, she has school tomorrow, or no. It's not that I don't trust those people. I have trust issues of my own because of this. So you don't want to live like this. You don't want to put this on yourself like this. And everybody who knows me knows that my daughter is always with me. And for parents out there who have gone through this and your daughters came and told you this is something you want to look into, especially your daughters, man, you got to protect your girls. Before I had my daughter, this was something that I was always scared about. This is probably the reasons why I was happy every time it was a boy. And then when I found out I had a daughter, I was going to have a daughter. Like I sat there and I was like, man, I can't imagine my daughter going through this. The only reason why I cry is because I wish I was strong enough to go to the authorities. Or I wish I was strong enough to reach out to somebody who would have went to the authorities for me. Like talking about this, actually today is a lot better for me. Like when a couple years ago, I probably wouldn't have even been able to look in the camera and say what I'm saying right now. But I hope you get the help you need, and I hope your family supports you. I'm gonna lift you up in prayers with my Yam fam, and if not just the girl who DM'd me, if anybody who is watching this video has gone through something like that, reach out to somebody. Like it's like I cannot tell you enough how important it is to open up to somebody that'll get you to that right person, because it'll be a lot easier to go through life. I'm not sure if you want to chime in on anything, Boo Boo, or if you want to say anything. You know, you went through it with me. You know, me and Jimmy were in our talking days, I think.
Well, I heard about it. Do something about it, but it's not gonna solve anything. So
that's my answers to that question. So I hope it helps somebody out there, or you end up saying something. You know what I mean? Like, before I answer this question, I watched the R. Kelly thing, and it just brought back so many painful and hurt memories, because these girls are so brainwashed to thinking that they have to stay where they're at, or they can't tell anyone because they're going to get in trouble, or because no one's going to believe them. Tell somebody. Somebody who's listening to you will end up saying something to somebody else that'll get you to the right people.
yes.
That'll help you get through your ordeal. Because even though I didn't go to the authorities, or even though I wasn't strong enough to say, I had people in my life that helped me get through the pain, that helped me get through the struggle of trusting men again, actually. So that's my answer to that one. I think that's the last one.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Any other questions? To
We're
add
just-
on to that, just grab some information and put it in your video.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and research some hotline numbers and links to some help for you guys out there who are seeking help but don't know how to go about it. I'll drop it in my description, so that way you guys can get to the right outlets. Anything else?
No. But if you know anyone who's going through that, just be there as much as possible for that person. Letting them know that you're there, and that I had reached out to someone.
Support system.
Yeah, I reached out to someone about that and what could be the best way you can support. And their answer is just to be there and to reassure them that even though you're going through a dark time, it's always brighter on the other side. And the more you're open up to it, to explain what happened, or to even face that person, just continue talking about it. And the more you talk, the more it'll get easier.
Easy, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's been a long time, and I'm just now getting comfortable with talking about it. Or
even if it's to your parents, like if you tell them and they don't believe you, just continue going. Like keep telling people you trust. And I know it's hard to like trust people after that, but there's someone out there that, you know, can be your light.
Yeah. That's very discouraging, but I encourage you to go and talk to your best friend, your sibling who you can reach out to, somebody who can, like I said, someone who can get you to the right people, because this is never something easy to live with. And that's all we have for our video. Thank you so much for chiming in with us and going through our Never Have I Ever. This was a very informing, funny, emotional and fun video that we've done so far. This is actually our first real video that we shot together. Shout out to Boo Boo and Joe for coming out with us. Shout out to our Yam fam that's on live video streaming with us. They've been on the camera with us throughout the whole recording and supporting us and giving us questions. And shout out to everybody who asked us questions on our status and in the DMs as well. Like I said, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell next to the subscribe button so you'll get our notifications whenever we post a new video.
You hear the thing?
And as always, we're signing off. It's your girl Monique.
Jim.
Peace out.
And,
Don't forget about us.
Oh, and Boo and Joe.
Hold on, press the button. Press the play, right?